These moments that catapulted the Golden State Warriors dynasty back to life, so keep watching till the end. Stephen Curry couldn't decide whether to laugh or cry as the seconds ticked away at Boston's TD Garden on Thursday night. He appeared ecstatic, broad smile, giddy, a natural reaction to the Golden State Warriors' 4th NBA title. Curry collapsed to the floor with 2 seconds remaining in the 2022 NBA Finals. He cradled himself, lowered his head and cried, his knees resting on his elbows. Hey guys, and welcome back to our channel. The most iconic moments of the 2022 Warriors championship run will be covered in this video. Everything will be revealed later, so please watch the video, subscribe to the channel and enable new video notifications. So, let's get started. Kevin Looney was inserted into the starting lineup on May 13th. A 39-point playoff loss has a way of forcing a team to make significant changes. Following the Warriors' 134-95 loss to the Grizzlies in Game 5 of the conference semifinals, assistant coach Mike Brown, who had served as acting head coach for the COVID-19 positive Kerr in Games 4 and 5, texted Kerr with a suggestion. In Game 6, the Warriors should start Looney instead of Jonathan Kuminga. Brown, the Warriors' defensive coordinator, had witnessed the Grizzlies' size brutalize the Warriors in Game 5, as Memphis gobbled up 18 offensive rebounds while the Warriors' defense was a sieve. Kerr appreciated the suggestion and told Brown to think about it until the staff met the next day. The relocation would not be without complications and risks. The Warriors avoided playing their big 2 men together for extended periods of time. Neither Green nor Looney have range, and despite his strengths, Looney has never been a dynamic roller to the rim. Despite his agility, Looney may find himself vulnerable on the perimeter in pick-and-roll coverage. Andrew Wiggins defends Luka Doncic on May 18th. In the conference semifinals, the Warriors' coverage schemes were guided by the Ja rules against the Grizzlies' dynamic young point guard. Though it lacked the clever wordplay of its predecessor, the Warriors' coaching staff's Luka rules would be the single most important set of bylaws determining whether Golden State would return to the finals for the first time since 2019. There aren't many specific tactics like make him go left or make him go right with Luka because he can beat you in either direction, says assistant coach Jama Mahlelada, who works closely with Wiggins on game strategy. With Luka, it starts with bother him for as long as you possibly can during the basketball game. That meant applying full court pressure to Doncic as tenaciously and persistently as Wiggins could. That meant repeatedly turning Doncic as he brought the ball up court. As a general rule, this meant exhausting him as much as possible. Wiggins' strategy demanded a tremendous amount of energy from him. Just making work, Wiggins said after the first game. The main thing was 94 feet to making work. When guarded by Wiggins, Doncic had an effective field goal percentage of 46.7% and an identical shot quality percentage, 3.5 turnovers per 100 possessions versus 4.6 assists over the course of the series. I expected him to do it for 30% of the game, Mahlelada says. He did it for 85% of the game. For a player who was regarded as an overpaid supplier of empty calories and a player with a competitive deficit during his first 6 NBA seasons, Wiggins has emerged as one of the best redemption stories of the spring. May 26, Thompson scores 32 points in the clinching win, sending the Warriors back to the finals. 941 days. It's a familiar figure in Warriors numerology, the number of days between Thompson's ACL tear in the 2019 finals and his return to the court on January 9, 2022. Thompson's postseason had ups and downs. He entered Game 5 of the conference finals having shot 29.2% from beyond the arc in the series, and had yet to score 20 points. But it was vintage Clay who sealed the deal. He darted around perimeter screens for catch-and-shoot opportunities, he drove to a nice spot for a mid-range jumper when the Mavericks chased him off the arc, and he fanned out to the wing in transition for easy opportunities. He finished with 32 points, including 8 for 16 from distance. The Warriors team and staff described Thompson as a man of profound self-possession with an easy instinct for achieving contentment. The Warriors roster includes a diverse group of players, but Thompson is all about the sun, his bulldog, Rocco, and above all, basketball. If Green is the Warriors' heartbeat and Curry their DNA, then Thompson is the team's soul, as Steve Kerr frequently says. Many players don't cultivate this power of reflection and inner presence as a result of their long absence, which many players don't cultivate until retirement. He was a 29-year-old athlete in his prime when he was killed. When he took the stage after Game 5, He was a 32-year-old veteran still trying to regain muscle memory. But as the Warriors clinched a return to the NBA Finals, he summoned the former Clay and joined him in the latter. "I like to think there aren't any differences between who I was then and who I am now," Thompson told ESPN a few days before the win over Dallas. However, there are. Thompson is an introverted person who needs time away from the cacophony that surrounds an NBA dynasty. His eternal life, which sustains him, requires feeding and care. In the process, he has developed a passion for freediving in the waters of Richardson Bay off the coast of Marin County. June 16, the Warriors defeat the Celtics in Game 6 to win their 4th championship in 8 years. The Celtics couldn't have planned it this way, but with 4 minutes remaining in their series hopes fading, Smart gave teammate AI Horford the worst assignment in basketball, guarding Curry in open space. Horford is among the best mobile big men in an era where perimeter defense is valued, but this was a tall order. Curry, now 34 but always America's young brother, had Horford on a leash. Curry faced Horford with a narrow band of staccato dribbles in a tight spot, with the Warriors leading 91 to 81 in another tough defensive standoff. But with each dribble, Curry expanded his field of engagement. A stutter step right, a couple of crossovers, all while keeping an eye on Horford's feet. Curry was soon dancing in space. He humiliated one of the league's most distinguished veterans. The moment Horford committed his right foot, Curry lowered his left hip and drove hard right. A hummingbird transformed into a bowling ball in an instant. Curry drove to the basket, lurched forward and kissed the ball of the upper right corner of the window for a layup against the NBA's best defense. 8 years ago, the Warriors turbocharged popular trends like small ball and switch-heavy defenses, ushering in a new era of NBA basketball that emphasized versatility and spacing. They drew on elements of the triangle offense and the Spurs' motion sets to create an operating system centered on Curry. The Warriors' system has been updated over time. They made room for Durant and were rewarded with a couple of championships. They had to account for less artillery and the wear and tear that comes with age this season. Regardless of the changes in contingencies, the Warriors had Curry. No player has ever been more willing to thrive within a system with such an ability to override it. The Warriors' dynastic power exceeds the sum of their hardware. They've influenced how NBA basketball is played for a generation while also distinguishing themselves with a distinct style that no other team in basketball can match. Because as much as opponents can imitate defensive schemes or build rosters of similarly sized players with multiple skills, there is one factor that cannot be replicated. Those teams do not have Stephen Curry. Please leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and enable new video notifications to keep yourself updated. Until then, goodbye.